If you're struggling with trading and wondering what bad habits are preventing you from being profitable, then this video is for you. Also, if you like what I say and you get value from what I say, then I'd appreciate liking and subscribing and trying to grow this channel as big as we can. So let's get into the video, guys. The first bad habit keeping and preventing traders from winning is expectation versus reality. Now, a lot of traders, because picking up trading is so accessible, all you need is an internet connection, and you can go on it. Set up a broker within a few minutes, um, and we hear about it all the time on social media. How young people are making a lot of money from trading, and how you can do very financially well from it. The issue is, and this prevents people from winning because they start and they get into it, and their expectation is that they're going to make money within the first few months, and they're going to be that anomaly that makes hundreds of thousands or grows a small account into thousands. And the reality is, it just doesn't work like that. And if it does, and you are that small minority that has done that, the chance of you being able to replicate that and continue in that is very unlikely, because you haven't built up the skills and you haven't gone through those lessons to learn those skills. So I think partially it's social media, young people or whatever age you are, promoting this lifestyle. And although that is how some people are living, the reality is it takes a long time for most people to get into that position. So you have to treat trading like any profession, whether you're studying to be a doctor or a lawyer, or you're doing a uni degree, or you're working in a company and you're trying to work your way up to management or to be the boss of it or CEO. You've got to treat trading like that. So give yourself 3 years. This is what I did. I gave myself 3 years to learn it, and didn't have this expectation that I was going to start making loads of money in a couple of months. Otherwise, if I did, and because it didn't play out like that, most people would be likely to quit if they're only making £25 or £50 a month from their small account for a year straight. Most people think, I can't sustain this. But because I had a longer term view and a bigger picture, I gave myself 3 years, like I said, to learn everything I needed to learn and get into a position where I was consistently profitable, and at that point I could scale up. So I think that's what holds a lot of people back, is they expect it to be a lot easier than what it is, and they expect to succeed quicker. So I'd say, like I said, have a longer term view of it and spend a lot of time studying it, learning it, and there's no rush. Just take your time, go through the lessons, learn from the mistakes of winning and losing and blowing accounts, or making money, and what you did well, what you did bad, and make sure that you learn from all those experiences, so that you can be in a position when you have 6 figures or 7 figures to trade, you've learned all those lessons on a smaller account. So that's number one. Bad habit number two that I see very, very frequently is, once people have been trading for a while and they've maybe put a good few months into a community, and they've learned a strategy and they're learning the correct information, the mistake I see a lot of people, and it's a really, really bad habit, is they system swap. So that pretty much means, like, you have a profitable strategy, but you're not executing it properly, maybe because of psychology or emotions, or for whatever reason, you're not able to make that strategy work. So then they go online and they see another community or another company promoting a better style to trade, and they see all these big returns, and they see these people making a lot of money from their trading strategy, and then they just swap and they go over, and it's all new and it's all interesting and fun that you're learning this new style. So you jump and hop to that. You then spend however many months learning that new style after you've spent months learning the previous style, and then you end up being in the same position there where you can't make that work either. And then you see another company offer a better trading style, so you hop and you keep jumping to what you think is the next holy grail that's going to make you loads of money and make you fantastic returns, rather than looking inwards and thinking maybe you're the problem and maybe it's you that's not being able to execute that strategy. Because in the community I was in, I saw that happen a lot. And the thing is those same people now are the same people that are still struggling for consistency, because it isn't the trading strategy. I used to think this. I used to think, if you give me a good trading strategy, I'll just start making money. Like, it's very simple. Tell me when to buy, tell me when to sell, show me how it works, and I'll just start making money. But it doesn't work like that. It's how you execute that strategy. It's you taking those trades and not taking bad trades, and only looking for good quality setups. So that's a real bad habit because, like I say, this is shiny ball syndrome of, oh, this is the next best thing, or this is gonna be the strategy that's gonna make me a lot of money. But in reality, there's people making fantastic returns from the previous community you were in. So you're the problem, and you're the one that has to look inwards and think, okay, what is preventing me? And maybe there are some styles that suit people better, and in that case, there's nothing wrong to adapt and change and look for, you know, better better trading styles that might suit your personality more. But that's if you're consistently profitable on the first strategy or the first community. It's these people that aren't consistently profitable that are hopping to try and find the next best thing. So I see that happen a lot, and that the best thing I'd say to do is stick with it. Stick with the current strategy, and look at why you're not succeeding. And it's probably down to your psychology or down to how you're executing that strategy. Because there's probably a lot of people in the community making a lot of money and making good returns. So that's number two. Bad habit number three, preventing traders from winning and succeeding in the markets, is definitely mindset. So I briefly mentioned this on point two, but when I first started trading, I assumed once I've learned how the technicals, how to trade technically, I learned what trading is and how it works and how the markets move and structure and support and resistance, supply and demand, all these key theoretical terms. I thought once I study all that and understand it, I'll just start making money. I understand how it works, so I'll just start placing trades, and I know how it works, so I'll just start making money. But in reality, and this is the biggest thing that people don't realize, is it a lot of it, and I used to think no, surely it's not, but it really is. It is mindset. It's how you execute that strategy, because there can be, in the community I was in, each month we'd go at the end and be like, hey, how's everyone's results? And if it was solely down to the strategy, not the individual, everybody would have the same results. But the funny thing is there's people in there that would be at the end of the month making 5 to 10%. There were some people just breaking even, maybe plus 0.5%, and there'd be the same amount of people also losing. So you think, how does that work if everyone's trading the same strategy and trading the same and understanding the same information? Why is there such a variation in results? And that solely comes down to how each individual person's been executing the trades. So there might be someone who's had 3 or 4 winners in a row and isn't hesitant to take the trade, but there might be someone who's had 3 or 4 winners in a row and doesn't want to lose their profits that they've made, so they're reluctant because they're more risk adverse and more reluctant to take those trades. So there's all these internal things which, the emotions that take over that make you question decisions and make you see things that aren't there. It's only in hindsight when you reflect and look back at why didn't I not take that trade? I have no idea. Like, that's perfect setup, I didn't take it. Or why did I take that trade? It's a terrible setup, but I still took it. So you know what I'm trying to say is a lot of it comes down to psychology, and it's a very underrated thing because everyone wants to just learn the information and how it works, but in reality, you become the edge. You can get a strategy, but you have to execute that strategy profitably. So people aren't prioritizing psychology and discipline. They're prioritizing studying candlesticks and how the charts move and supply and demand and everything like that. So it's a real it's a real bad habit because you should spend more time focusing on mindset and looking at where your flaws are so that you can become profitable. Bad habit number four, which is preventing people becoming successful in trading, is they're staying on demo accounts too long. So I don't think there's anything wrong with when you're first starting in the first couple of months, going on a demo account. When you don't really understand what the markets are and how they work. Nothing wrong with that. Getting used to the dashboard and the instruments and how to place trades, how to execute trades. But the issues lie when you stay on a demo account too long. I didn't actually do this. I went quite quick into a live account, but I've seen a lot of people stay on demo accounts, and the problem with that is you don't really care if you lose. When you're losing money, even if it's a small amount, I started with a £500 account, so I was risking 1%. It was only £5 per trade, and it didn't really matter to me that much, but it mattered more than if I was doing that on a £100,000 fake demo account, because it's a different feeling when you're placing a trade and it's real money. It makes it literally real, quite obviously, but it makes it real. It's So your decisions that you make, whether you would place that trade or whether you would not place that trade, you can't ever tell whether you do that if you're on a demo account, because you can just reset the account if you lose. But on a real account, there's no going back. If you're losing money, you're not going to be able to get that back. So, like I say, nothing wrong with being on a demo account to start with. But I think after a few months, there's no harm in putting a small amount, £500 in, once you know are learning, because that's how you're going to learn all those lessons. Through those losses and through taking those trades, you're going to take it more serious. You're going to care more about learning because you have an actual stake at risk. So it's important to get off those demo accounts and go onto a live account relatively quickly. Again, only put in money you can afford to lose. Don't chuck all your money in. Like I say, I only put a small amount of money in, but it really helped the learning process because I was able to learn those lessons with real money rather than being stuck on a demo account, resetting the account when you lose and getting the starting balance back to where it was, because you're not able to do that in reality. Last bad habit preventing people from winning in trading is definitely being around the correct people, being in a community. Now, I'm not saying I've not got a community, so I'm not one of these people trying to promote my own community or anything like that. But it is true, because I used to think that when I first started trading back in 2017, I didn't want to join a community because I thought, oh, that they're probably scammers, or they're probably, I can learn it all myself. I can look online. There's so much information online. I can go on YouTube. I can go on these websites, babypips.com, and all these things. All these free websites. And as much as I did learn a decent amount of information, when I took the plunge and I did buy the community, I did my due diligence and I looked at good, solid, reputable companies, and I saw that the company that I went with, they had some fantastic reviews. They weren't scamming. They were genuinely wanting to help. So although it was a big decision at the time, because it was quite a bit of money to me at the time, I took the plunge and I did that, and it did change my trading massively. Being around people that were succeeding, even when I wasn't, helped, because it can be quite a lonely thing trading. If you don't know many traders and you're learning on by yourself, and you're not around people trying to aspire for the same stuff as you, it can be quite a lonely place. So definitely getting into a community is what will separate you. You have to do your own research and look at what companies you think are the best. So that's just down to the individual, but definitely get around like-minded traders, get around people that genuinely want to help you, genuinely want you to succeed, and have credible um, information to give to you so you can learn, because otherwise you're going to sit there for, could be month after month, not improving as much as if you're around people teaching you and have done it for years. So I think that's a bad habit, because people will assume the worst. And although there are a lot of scamming companies out there, there are definitely people and communities that have been trading for years and want to help aspiring people. So that's definitely something I think holds a lot of people back. So if you guys like the video, I'd appreciate, again, liking and subscribing. We're trying to grow this channel, trying to reach as many people as possible. I've also got my series 0 to 100k Forex funding, so I'm literally a couple of days away from doing that. So I'll be filming that all, so make sure you stay up to date with that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.